Thank you everyone for joining us. Welcome to Expert Talks by Kalkine TV. My name's Sage and today's guest is Omri Lachman. He's the CEO at Leap Protocol or playleap.io. And Leap allows players to create content around their sports skills and use them to compete with other talents on the Leap digital arena. The gamified sports platform provides its players with a new way to receive exposure while earning rewards, and some of which are backed by crypto that can be utilized in games. So here to tell us more about Leap and how it uses blockchain to empower emerging sports people is the CEO and founder, Omri Lachman from Leap. Welcome to the show, Omri.
Thank you for having me.
So glad you could join us. So you're in such an exciting domain, sports and blockchain, and you're integrating them to help sports people to excel. Can you please share the inspiration behind your innovative brand?
Sure. So I think as part of my journey as a tech entrepreneur, we came to that point where, I saw domestically in-house my son turning 12, fortunately still active in soccer, while also, much like many other kids, spending a lot of time on his phone and also on his PlayStation. So the combination of social media, gaming, and sports was sort of like my starting point. And then as myself and my team here took a deeper dive into industry numbers, we bumped into some staggering numbers that really motivated us to start Leap and utilize the power of Web3 to truly try and democratize sports for emerging talents.
Wow, that's an amazing goal that you're on. So I have understood from other articles that I've read as well that kids these days are not benefiting greatly from having phones in their hand, no matter how convenient it makes it to contact them in case of emergencies. Having access to your phone all the time and searching on things and not connecting with your peers is actually not the best while you're meant to be developing and growing as a young person. So great to hear that you're trying to help children to connect more with their peers while they're still young and developing. Would you call your protocol a Web3 platform, and how can you see Web3 empowering future talent?
Oh, first of all, we are absolutely Web3. The whole concept and essence of Web3 is what motivated us to launch Leap on the blockchain. So absolutely a Web3 platform. I think the inspiration there is really the way we see it, what Web3 is all about. It's about the individual ownership over data. And I think that's also, to your earlier reference, I think that's what's important in understanding the generational gap between us and our kids. We see their usability in phones as something that is wrong. I say it is what it is, and we have to accept it because they are data processing machines. They process so much data so much faster than we could ever imagine. And I say, why go against it if we can actually harness this usability pattern and try to motivate them rather than incentivize them to going that path and actually get the grasp and understanding of what earning actually means, courtesy of Web3.
That's amazing to hear. Thank you for your insights, because I think the media as well plays a very strong role in developing people's attitudes and behaviors to this fantastic emerging technology that we're seeing becoming more prevalent. And at the moment, in most movies and things like that, AI and other deep tech is actually portrayed in quite a scary way. I don't know if you've got any insights to share on that, but I love what you're saying about making it a positive experience and just harnessing the power and its abilities.
Absolutely. I think AI is yet another tech buzzword, much like many others. Some people get it, some don't. I think the advantages are far greater than the disadvantages. With every advancement we go through as a race, as the human beings, I think it's proven to be more positive than anything else. I think AI plays a substantial role in the advancement of tech. I think I can understand why it may be misperceived or misleading occasionally for some people. But I think the outcomes are just speaking for their own. I mean, the main areas of our lives are changing for good, thankfully to those type of technologies.
Thank you, Omri. So democratizing of industry and sectors is one of the goals of blockchain, and as well as decentralization. However, with the knowledge barriers and the gap that's developing between the users and the developers of this type of technology, sometimes that whole democratization issue, it kind of gets a bit blurry. So if you can help us to understand how LEAP fits into this, can you explain why you've chosen the main geographies of Latin America and Africa to launch LEAP?
Sure. So first of all, I think from the very get-go, it's been one of our main areas of focus. How do we connect several audiences that have never connected before? By that referring to users coming from the less privileged territories of our world, alongside with Web 2.0 users and of course Web 3 users who are the native crypto users. Those audiences don't blend well. I think this is the true essence of Leap. I think that the virtual bridge that we're building between an in-game token, which is something every kid on the face of this planet that holds a smartphone knows by heart, and combining it with a backed token that actually drives value to that in-game token, thus making it truly transparent for the application users without having to really know what's crypto or NFTs or how to connect a wallet. That's what we're trying to do. And then I think that while we are definitely focusing on certain territories such as Latin America, Africa, Southeast Asia, but to be perfectly clear, I think those users that we are targeting are in every neighborhood, in every city on the face of this planet. There is anywhere between some tens of millions around this planet right now that cannot make it to even to the entry barrier of the sports funnel. The sports industry is not going to change in any fundamental way. But there are plenty of kids who don't have access to the after school activities or little leagues or whatever else because there is no school, or maybe it's 5 hours away, right? So that's really where we're starting off. And I think that those users today, and not necessarily just the athletes, it's their friends that are considered their fans, it's their families. Those who are currently related to in blockchain as the unconnected or the unbanked are currently not considered a commodity in the digital world. They are not a target for marketing, retargeting channels. And that's what we're trying to do on the long run. And that's why we're building this platform for sustainability rather than a quick hype. It's about turning these individuals into valuable people who can grow both as athletes, but more importantly, as humans.
Wow, that is such a noble mission. It's almost like that movie from the 90s, Field of Dreams, build it and they will come. It's very inspiring talking to you. That we just take it for granted that we've got infrastructure to attend after school sports classes. We have bank accounts. We've got all this, available to us at the touch of our fingertips, and there's billions of people out there who don't. So it's amazing the work that you do. How can people buy Leap? How can they get involved? And which blockchain is it built on, please, Omri? What are the utilities that the token will provide?
So at this point in time, we will invite anyone to just register to our lobby as we are waiting to launch the game in its first universe. That will be happening in the coming couple of months. I will hint out that this will happen closer to the World Cup around the bottom of this year. Leap is a multi-chain, so we are also building this for mass adoption. It will support ERC20, of course, Ethereum, Polygon, and we're also considering other chains as well.
Thank you. So many see crypto as a new financial asset class. Do you think there's potential for mass adoption of crypto in the future?
I'm absolutely convinced that there is mass adoption around the corner. I think that's, to our earlier discussion point, I think that's really what we're focusing on day and night here. I think that up until now, it's been two ends of a Chinese wall in between the native crypto users and those who don't get it. And what we're trying to do here is to create this seamless bridge between both realms that will allow, and if you think about it, like most of our users are far from being native crypto users. We're talking about underage youth, adolescents. We're talking about their parents, their surrounding audiences. They are far from being native crypto users, but they do know how to play games. They do know how to generate content all day long. And we're just about to educate them on how valuable those assets are. And more importantly, courtesy of Web3, it belongs to them.
That's fantastic that you're helping to galvanize this bridge, harnessing the talents of the young people and their families, and then also giving the ability to hopefully up their game and be valued as athletes, which can benefit their health. So we have to find out a little bit more about the stars. Have any stars come out of the program yet? Or has it actually launched?
So Leap will be launching publicly, as I said, around the bottom of the year in the next couple of months. It has been running in a stealth alpha version with some number of talents in the thousands. And more importantly, Leap is a discovery network that hopes and plans to create a new level of engagement between those emerging talents and anyone who is someone in sports, from the very fan all the way down to professional staff, sponsors, clubs, academies, and whatnot. So we also have a great bunch of design partners who are, I would say, top tier individuals or entities in the world of sports. And we're seeing this engagement already happening in our alpha version. So we just can't wait to launch our public version. But as we're building it for scale and mass adoption, we want to make sure it's fully there to support it. So it is coming, it is around the corner, and we're already seeing the magic in the making.
Well, I think there's a lot of businesses and industry bodies out there who are noticing the engagement that these new funding models and these new platforms can offer talent, and also the interest that it can gain from investors and people who want to get involved for the community engagement aspect. So Omri, thank you so much for sharing your insights with us today. Before we wrap up the discussion, can we hear about the near-term goals for Leap?
Sure, absolutely. So as we're speaking right now in our first big wave before we take this platform public, we are now working with our community of ambassadors who are renowned individuals in sports. We are building our community to really educate everyone from both ends of the user court, whether it's talents, talent seekers, fans. We're really working on educating this community on the core essence and values of Leap, especially again, because we are building this for sustainability and for the long run. It's not, and I say so respectfully, it's not yet another play to earn game or an NFT game. We are building this for the long run. I think the key difference here that we see as the main educational point is that our gamified environment doesn't feature fictional creatures. It features kids from all around the world. And we, just as individuals who like to consume content and preferably sport-related content, are no longer just fans. Through Leap, we actually get a direct mean to impact, endorse, and help those kids rise. And that takes quite a long educational curve, but we have all the time in the world.
Wow, that is such an amazing opportunity that you're giving people to help support these kids' journey and watch them grow and flourish. And I know a lot of people love sponsoring children from the less advanced countries, from Australia. I remember in my own classroom in school, we sponsored a child and we all really loved seeing the journey of the child, and it was a beautiful experience. So kudos to you for allowing people to have this same opportunity. Omri, thanks so much for joining us and sharing your insights. Did you want to say anything before we close off the discussion?
I just appreciate you having me here, spreading the word on what we're doing, and we invite you and the rest of the viewers to follow closely through our communities as we're getting prepped to launch Leap.
Fantastic. Best of luck with your plans moving forward. And if you just joined us, we had a very inspiring discussion with the co-founder, CEO, Omri Lachman at Leap. Playleap.io. To watch the full interview, please head to Kalkine Media's YouTube channel and keep watching for more expert talks and market insights. Till the next episode, stay apprised and invest wise with Kalkine Media.